Hey bro, I just feel like I spend my whole day doing client updates and meetings. That sucks. We don't have any updates to do at all. I cried into a Google spreadsheet and then I masturbated with the tears. Frankly, dude, that's fucking disgusting. We actually just had a 10K day yesterday and we didn't have any client calls to do. But don't you just have to have 87 unanswered Slack messages and a day's worth of emails to respond to at all times? Well, I will say that soul-crushing client work is my favorite flavor of ice cream. What about the hop on a quick call? No, dude, you just have to have better relationships with clients where you're more like a partner than a subservient little bitch, and then you can just tell them, hop on these nuts, bitch. What's up, guys? It's Frankie here, and in this video I want to show you how I actually get paid from products that I don't even own. And this is something that I learned in the real estate world. They have an acronym, they OPM, which stands for other people's money, and we're going to do the digital version of that, which is other people's products, that you can actually generate money from stuff that is not your own. If you really understand, this is going to be kind of an advanced video, but I want to introduce you guys to partnerships because I think partnerships, if you understand how to do them, shout out to our man Tony T, who, if you're watching this, Tony T, you're a legend, who just released his new book, Deals Over Clients. And that is the premise of this book, is that deals are way cooler than clients. And I'm going to show you guys how to find deals and how not to get screwed, because that's the thing that everybody worries about. For those of you guys who don't know me already, my name is Frankie Finn. I wrote these two best-selling books, Beyond the Agency Box, Passive Automated Recurring Income. I've also built 3 of my own agencies up to 100 plus clients. And I've helped thousands of people like you out there to live this more beach, less laptop lifestyle. Let's get into the good stuff. So I want to give you guys a little bit of background information that'll be really useful in understanding partnerships, okay? So there are really 2 types of people that offer partnerships. The first is the number one person is somebody who has a broken business, and they will typically offer this to you. So somebody will say, hey, I've been screwed by you agencies before. Why don't you go bring me some business and then I'll pay you after it works. And whenever that happens, you should talk to him just like this.
Happy, the ball itself has its own energy, or life force, if you will. Its natural environment is in the home. So why don't you send him home? His bags are packed. He's got his airplane tickets. Bring him to the airport. Send him home.
Send him home. I just send him home. It's time to go home there, ball.
Son of a bitch, Ball, why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me! Suck my white ass, Ball!
Suck my white ass ball indeed. So what this person is really telling you is my business is broken, my sales process is broken, I don't have anything in place, my offers don't work, my ads don't work. I want you to figure out my entire business for me. And the problem with that is you might as well just build your own business at that point. Now there's another type of person that's really open to partnerships, and it's usually the top 1 to 5% of people in your marketplace. And here's the reason why they're so open to it. Firstly, because there's an element of partnerships probably in their business already, but also because they know there's 1,000 things they could be doing to grow their business, and realistically they have time to do maybe 3 to 5 every day. And so even though they know there's 900 other things that they could be doing, and so the attitude is, you want to look at it like, do you want to own 100% of a grape, or do you want to own 50% of a watermelon? And if you can help them build a bigger pie, build a bigger watermelon, you can negotiate like a pretty large percentage for yourself. And so the people who make for the best partners, by the way, are already crushing it long before you actually showed up. Now, the number one question that most people ask me about this is basically, how do I not get screwed? Okay? And there's no 100% full safe way. And so you have to approach these people like an investor. And what I look at it is, what could I do in 1 to 2 hours that would move the needle for this kind of person in a way where I can find out pretty quickly whether or not they're going to pay me. So it might just be like I generate them a sale or 2 based on the resources they already have, a database reactivation, a follow-up with an unconverted lead or something like that. And what I really want to see is how do they handle the money? And this determines whether or not we'll do more. If they screw me here, that's the end of it. If they do more and they pay on time and things like that, which is obviously the best case scenario, as Ricky would say.
Get two birds stoned at once.
So let's talk about the most important detail, okay? Besides getting two birds stoned at once. Shout out to Ricky, by the way. Is we want to work with people who have assets galore. This is the secret to actually making it work. Is, for example, I'll give you an example with some of the partners we're working with. One of our partners, for example, they have an audience of 500,000 people. Well, if you go to sell a product, you're probably going to have an easier time if you're starting with 500,000 people that already pay attention and follow and are active and are on that person's email list and so forth. Next little detail is they often have working offers, and usually not just one, but they often have like a catalog of them. So some of our partners, I actually think they must have 100 different products, right? And again, they only have time to do 3 to 5 things every day. And so the $1 million question, if you want to like really get this level of freedom, only the greatest movie ever made. And if you guys want to get that level of freedom, the simple $1 million question is, looking at these assets, is what else could they be used for? How else could these assets be used? And almost always the answer to that question, by the way, is more revenue both for yourself and for your partner. So I'll tell you one of the simplest things that we've done, for example, is taking one of our partner who has 100 products and take 3 or 4 of them that make sense to go together and add in the tools in the software and create what we would call a bundle of cool stuff. And then we go and sell it to their existing audience. And the partner doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to create a new product. They don't have to create a new message. All that happens is, in their world, new sales show up, new cash, new revenue. They don't have to do anything. And they simply pay us just like they would pay an affiliate. They say, hey, let me give you 40% of the sales, or let me give you 50%, or sometimes even higher. Although I'll tell you, most typically we're in the 30 to 50% range. And so what happens is, when we created that, we actually just took the assets that were already there. There was already an audience. There was already working offers. Everything we needed to create money was already self-contained in the partner. This is why, by the way, we don't want to do this for broken businesses, because they don't have people that are buying from them. They don't have working offers. The flip side of that is, when you work with the people in the space who are crushing it, they got all the shit already, right? They just don't have the time to do it all. And so whenever you can do this in a way where they don't have to use any energy at all, they're going to love you for it, by the way. In fact, some of my partners have said, I'm down to sell anything that helps people as long as I don't have to fulfill on anything else. And there's a simple reason why, because when you're a busy, successful influencer and you got an audience and you got working offers and you got a lot of people asking you questions and messaging you every day, anytime you have to do more effort, more energy for work, it kind of feels like this.
Okay, listen up, everybody. Turn up your volumes. Announcement. I got good news. We're extending arts and crafts time by 4 hours today.
My fingers hurt.
What's that?
My fingers hurt.
Oh, well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Anybody else's fingers hurt? I didn't think so.
By the way, there are millions and millions of influencers in every industry that fit this description, that are crushing it, that have built-in audience and have built-in offers, or complementary things like software and tools. There are so many different things you can do. The thing that we simply start with is, what else can their stuff be used for? And what problems do their audience have? And by the way, if you actually don't know what their audience's problems are that you could help potentially solve, you can actually just ask ChatGPT. You can say, hey, ChatGPT, like, let's say we were doing this for a cooking channel. I'm not, but we could go to the cooking channel and say, hey, this is the cooking channel. Here's a link. Here's all their videos. Here's all their stuff. What problems are their audience trying to solve? And it'll give you a whole list of those. And then you can actually take those same list of products and you can give it to ChatGPT and say, well, how could I like rearrange this or add to this or modify this or so forth, so we can create valuable solutions to these problems for people and create something. I'm open to bundles of existing packages and modifying, or I'm open to adding in software and tools that are complementary. And often you can create winning offers out of offers that already exist. And so what most people do, by the way, unknowingly, is they go into people's broken businesses and try and save them. And I can't iterate this or reiterate this point enough. We amplify winners, we do not save losers. And when I say losers, I mean the game of business. You know, like people who fail in the game of business, it doesn't always mean they're a loser in the game of life. But if you want to have your business be successful, you know the old, hey, you're the sum of the 5 closest people you hang out with? Well, if you're constantly working with broken businesses and trying to save them, I can't tell you the number of times people have come to me and the single switch that I made was stop working with the bottom 80% of the market that is essentially losing and start working with the top 1 to 5% who are winning and help them win more. And amazingly, they have working teams, systems, offers, delivery, fulfillment. They have good customer service. Often they literally have everything you need. And in fact, often the things that you're doing for them, they already know they need to do. They simply don't have time to do it. And by the way, I haven't heard very many places in the agency world talking about how you can monetize from other people's products. This is really something that we really only talk about inside of our Wolfpack Mastermind, which is kind of like this.
Fire! Wind! Water! Heart! Go planet!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero.
Gonna take pollution down to zero, motherfuckers. So if you guys are interested in learning more about this sort of like deals over client structures, really the biggest detail in all of this is knowing how to identify people, and then you want to test the partner to see whether or not they're going to screw you. And you never usually want to invest more than a couple of hours. But what you're going to find out is you can usually find out whether or not their thing's going to work in a couple of hours simply on the basis of, again, they have a built-in audience, they have built-in offers. So there's usually something you can test, a lead to follow up with, a database reactivation, a social media post. Would anybody be interested in this? And you can see how quickly you can generate a sale or two and whether or not people would actually, whether that influencer would pay you in a timely fashion. And what you'll know is when you do this, unlike over here where you get the illusion of a guaranteed paycheck where you get, $1,500 a month to run client campaigns, over here you get paid nothing if it doesn't work. But because you're starting with such huge digital assets, it's not uncommon to make $100,000 or more with a single campaign with an influencer in a matter of days, because often they've spent 10 years building an audience of that many people. And so it's kind of a cheat code is to really recognize this. In fact, even if you do like the traditional retainer model, which there's nothing to do, again, I told you guys this is an advanced video, the people who make for the best retainer clients are not the people over here with the broken businesses, but rather the top like 10% of the market that are the ones who are actually winning and have working offers and teams and systems and so forth. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. If you guys would like to hear more about these partnership deals, drop a comment below. Tell me what questions you have. I'll do my best to answer them and make additional videos if it makes sense to do that. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Make sure to subscribe for the golden dad guns. Buy my book or I will reprogram your smart fridge to only give you pizza with pineapple on it.